Welcome to Sacred Stream Radio with Isa Gucciardi. Today, Isa discusses the Shamanic Journey and its relevance today.
Much of the education at the foundation of the Sacred Stream involves beginning to learn how to trust and how to know what you know by looking inward. And through the shamanic journey, you do learn how to trust your own voice and how to trust guidance that is coming through your inner spheres. And there's many different ways of working with the journey. In the context of a traditional shamanic environment, a more indigenous kind of cultural setting, the shaman is generally the only person who is journeying. And of course, the shaman is a person in an indigenous context who is charged with healing, doctoring, ceremonial creation, ministering, problem solving. And the way that most intact shamanic traditions function is that the shaman is not actually the one who is providing the services. It is the shaman who is the intermediary between the world of the unseen and the world of the seen. And in this role, the shaman has to learn how to begin to understand and perceive guidance arising from the unseen spheres. And the shamanic journey is a wonderful tool for being able to develop this process of listening internally with all the senses. And again, in a traditional context, the shaman is really the only person in a particular group of people who is undertaking the education to learn how to know what he or she knows and how to perceive guidance coming from the inner spheres. And of course, shamans have been working with the journey for millennia. In most cultural contexts, you find the shamanic journey as the centerpiece of the process that provides the shamanic initiate with access to the world of power that is held in the unseen worlds. Now, in terms of modern practitioners, there is great relevance for using the shamanic journey in a slightly different way. Again, in a traditional shamanic context, it is only the shaman who is receiving this education. But in the modern context, I think we really need more people who are empowered to understand their own guidance and to bring that forward in the world. And the journey is really a wonderful vehicle for that. You know, I think we have a very complex environment here these days, much more complex in many ways than people living in an intact culture where there are roles that are clearly defined and where you have everyone in the community providing a particular service to the community as a whole. And in that case, it does make sense for a person who is a shamanic practitioner to just be the only person or one of two or three people in a particular group of people that are working to help bring the understandings of the unseen into the seen. And of course, in an indigenous culture, the role of the shaman very strongly is to translate the wisdom and power of the earth into human affairs. And in a modern context, we don't have this kind of intact fabric of society that's holding people together. We have a lot of breakdown in the social fabric, and we have a lot of complexities that are emerging in the environment due to the breakdown in that social fabric. We have this kind of disaster that's happening environmentally because of the lack of concern for social cooperation on the part of the corporations that are engaged with raping the earth, basically, that are at war with the earth. And that creates an environment in terms of individual mind, body, psyches, where there is a difficulty maintaining stasis and equilibrium. And in the modern context, the role of the shamanic initiate in bringing forward the wisdom and power of the earth through the shamanic journey becomes crucial. As a person reconnects with the earth through, again, shamanic practices, including the shamanic journey, an equilibrium is established in the midst of the external environment disintegrating, because the wisdom and power of the earth is available through the internal spheres as well as through the experience of the earth externally. And the shamanic journey is a very important tool for helping people establish this contact with the earth again. And in this way, I think that this shamanic tool becomes almost like a salvation for modern people.
Thanks for listening to Sacred Stream Radio, brought to you by the Foundation of the Sacred Stream and Red Cow Records. For more information on classes and events, please visit us on the web at sacredstream.org.